For you today is living proof that one good hat, a fuzz guitar, pill, and a sort of pass to go a long way to keep you in free beer and good company in this man's America. And I want to thank you so much for letting me sing for you tonight, and I hope that you all take care of each other out there and have a wonderful rest of your evening. This is going to be our last song, and thank you very much again to our friends here at SubCulture for having us, and y'all stay warm out there, all right?
American hat.
We hear the Salvation Army band, followed them across the land. We cried for crowded streets full of garbage men. Seemed to save us with their galleon trucks that shine just like the first time we fell in love, but it'll never feel the way it was when we were kids again. So this angry war that likes the moon strikes your heart with a silver spoon. Extermination plan from June is the music of your favorite tune. This country is dead. Maria, come on, let's go dancing tonight. But if you want to feel the Holy Ghost, then join the band and burn your clothes, cause the last great hope of rock and roll ain't some Barbie doll on a stripper pole. And I know every word to your first CD, and I would marry you tonight on them streets of Galilee. So desperately you kiss my face like we're from another time or place, a memory I cannot seem to trace at all. Triumph, you pull back into town like a circus, and what a juggling clown, a fighter for a critically acclaimed artist who can't even draw. So line up for me and say I saved you from another day of petty lies and godless folks who steal from you to give you hope. I get the feeling nowadays there ain't nothing left to say. So let's load the cannons to fire so far we'll head out of space from inside my car, cause we all used to dream so hard, but nowadays we're all too sick and tired. I've cried so much, my dear, the tears are like a sea. There's a ship we can ride across on them streets of Galilee. No one's right, no one's wrong, as we all wait here for the atom bomb, and I ain't never had to wait so long to get blowed up. But maybe when we finally go, MTV will show some music videos and apologize for all their TV shows and wish they tried a little harder to find something cool. Hell, I guess I don't really watch TV, but I know I would if I could see a big poet laughing at misery, just like it's 1963. And babe, you've gotta know I loved you even way back then. So won't you take my hand and have a beer? Oh, Milwaukee's having one hell of a year, and I promise to hold you up, my love, so you can see the singer take his drugs. I have not felt so good since 1993. That was the year of Kurt Cobain. Snap bracelets. All the cool shit, man. That was also the year I was a much younger man. Young enough, in fact, that my mom could give me a ride home from school. And on just such several occasions, she did that thing where she gave me the ride home from school. And this one time I got in the car to go home from school with her, and she put this tape in the cassette deck player and said, "Hey man, check this out." It was this tape called the Blue Beatles tape. And as I sat there listening to the Beatles for the first time, I thought, damn, I gotta try and figure out how to do that, man. That seems like some really cool shit. So I took the tape out of the car and took it up into my room and put it in my boombox. And I sat in front of my boombox with my guitar and tried to learn how to play guitar like the Beatles. But friends, that shit is hard to do. Because number one, the Beatles songs got a lot of chords in them. And number two, I could never get my hair to look right. Sure as I'm sitting here today, I can tell you this: you cannot play the Beatles music with some bullshit hair. And I started out on acoustic guitar, you know, and as I was listening to those Beatles records, I noticed there was this whole other kind of guitar called the electric guitar, and it seemed like the shit that happened when you did that one was a lot better than the stuff that happened when you did this one. For example, best case scenario after a show like this is maybe somebody comes up and says, "Man, Doug, what you did up there with the folk music, maybe we could pet this whale together, or hold hands, or plant a tree, or some shit like that." But you get that electric guitar going, the chicks are taking their shirts off, the beer is free, the whole deal's way cooler. I said, man, that's what I want to do. So I became a folk singer. And I was what they called in school a visual learner, which basically means you didn't do the shit that you were supposed to do, and they felt bad about that fact. So to make up for it, they gave you this misleading name, and it was under the pretense of my misleading name that I thought, well shit, maybe if I could see somebody play the electric guitar, I could do it too. I was thumbing through the newspaper one day and I came across this advertisement with this guy playing at the Ohio State Fair. It was billed as the Motor City Madman. Now my friends, I'd never heard of the Motor City Madman before, but I did have the internet. And I looked up Motor City Madman on there, and I found this picture of Ted Nugent wearing like a loincloth and a headband and carrying around some sort of assault bow and arrow type deal. And I took one look at that and thought, this is the fucking guy I should be taking guitar lessons from. And I went down to the state fair and I saw Ted Nugent playing. Man, it was so badass. He played Cat Scratch Fever and all the hits. And then he left the stage and came back on the stage by a round of applause for what they call in the music business an encore. And it was at that point in time he did a song I was entirely unfamiliar with called Asshole, which is basically a song where that dude sings about different people he thinks are assholes, and then one by one his road crew brings out a life-size cardboard cutout of each person he's singing about, and he shoots him through the heart with a flaming crossbow in front of everybody. Yep. I was like, damn. I just kind of wanted to hear Stranglehold, but okay, Ted. When did ignorance become a point of view? But I'm not telling you this story to take Uncle Ted down. He's out there doing what he does, and you should do whatever you do too, so long as it does not hurt anybody else. But these are some strange times we're living in. Now's as good a time as ever to start yourself what my good friend Mr. Kevin Kinney would call a revolution. And I'm not talking about the kind of shit where you need to shoot a flaming arrow at a piece of cardboard to make your point. I'm talking about the kind of thing you can do in your own bedroom with a couple rock and roll posters on your wall and a 6-pack of Mickey's Big Mouth. That's Mr. John Kengla on the bass guitar, everybody. My good friend Mr. Keith Christopher one more time. Mr. John Jackson on the mandolin and the fiddle. Thank you, Julia Haltigan. You kicked so much ass. Go make that record. And thank you all for coming out here to hang out with us tonight. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And I sure hope to see you down the road real soon. If I can leave you with one friendly piece of advice as you're going out there into the world, a little drunker, hopefully a little happier. If you are gonna listen to Ted Nugent, stick to the early shit. On them streets of Galilee.